Welcome to another Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. I am Benjamin, and even though you're going to see this video on a different day, I have filmed 3 or 4 already, and I'm excited to share this theme with you. This is a theme that I've always enjoyed, and it's going to be on pineapples. Pineapples on banknotes. And I got the idea for pineapples on banknotes, whenever I saw that, I have at least 2 notes with pineapples on it. And, I like to have 2 of something and then consider that it's possible to get 3 or 4. And then I have a theme group. And there you go. But I was actually inspired by going to Walmart. And, back when the economy was better, and it cost me $12 to get a 1 ounce or a 1 pound ribeye, instead of like $24 a pound, now. I was able to look at pineapples, and I used to buy pineapples at Walmart because they've never been more than $3, like $2.88 or something like that. And I've loved to eat them, and sometimes I wouldn't even eat them. I just cut them off, and then I would stick the top in water and root it, and then put it in a pot that I would, I would raise on my back patio for 3 or 4 years until the thing got so pokey I got tired of hauling it in the winter. And if it died in a freeze, I felt bad for a minute because I could go back to Walmart and buy another pineapple for $2.88. But I was in Walmart the other day, and pineapples are now $2.28. How on earth is that? I mean, at one point, this fruit was like equal to its weight in gold, and they built special pits in Europe so that they could grow it in the wintertime in the cold north, crazy night, 60-degree nights and 50-degree nights, and perhaps some snow from time to time. I'm just being silly now. But pineapple is a fruit that I've come to like substantially more as I age. But it's found on a lot of banknotes, y'all. And if you can grow them in Oklahoma, you might be able to grow them in your locale. Just cut the top off and stick it in water. And when you see roots, put it in dirt. Just put it in dirt, y'all. I'm Benjamin. This is Numismatic Notes with Benjamin, and let's take a look at some pineapples on banknotes. Let me get this centered for you. This banknote is from Burundi, and it's a purple banknote, and I think you can see very quickly the pineapple that is appearing right there. Pineapples are indigenous to South America, and they are a symbol of luxury in Europe since the 17th century. Let's see. It appears in the archaeological record as far back as 12 to 800 BC in some of the ruins and pottery of Peru. Because of the cost, they were initially just used for display at dinner parties. You could rent a pineapple and use it as a centerpiece, y'all. And they would use it until it rotted and fell apart. It was the Spanish who first brought the pineapple over to Hawaii. I thought it was a native to Hawaii, but I guess live and learn. It is actually, strangely enough, the Philippines nowadays that are the largest exporter of the pineapple. And the thing to know about a pineapple is it's never going to get any riper than when it was harvested. So the pineapple you see at the store isn't going to get any more ripe. If you come home, put it in a paper sack or stick it in your window, it is what it is. And perhaps it's going to taste a little bit more tart, but we seem to have developed a taste for that. Let's go ahead and let's see if we can't develop a taste for pineapples as a theme as we look at these other notes in my pineapples on banknotes theme. As I've said, this is a Burundi pineapple, and over here you have the pineapple as one of the security devices over here. Kind of neat. And on this side, maybe that's a worker in a pineapple field. I don't know. I can't see super close, but a pineapple does come on a short shrub, less than 2 foot tall, that grows, in a field like this. So that's entirely reasonable. Now, these leaves that this pineapple is growing in is deceitful because they don't look nearly as sharp and pointy and able to cut you as I've discovered them to be. And the pineapples I grow have little spikes on the end that almost look like the tail of an ankylosaurus, if you know what I mean. But I believe this is a bromeliad, and so when you water it, water collects here in these little places where the leaf is attached to the stalk of the plant, and you can kind of see the new set growing on top of here that's going to become these if somebody cuts this off and plants it. Nice little project for elementary school or for bored senior citizens. let's move on over here to Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon, which is actually part of France, but you can find it floating off of the east coast of Canada. And there is supposed to be a pineapple on this note. So I think that just seeing the ship over here, which is nice and banknote themey in its own right, and seeing Mr. Bougainvillea over here, wigs. This would be a good banknote for a wig, wouldn't it? Let's see what's on the other side of this note. Ah, okay. So we have things that you're like, this shouldn't be on Canada. But you remember that France had a lot of colonies. And so just like some of the other colonial powers did, they issued banknotes of a single design for all of their colonies. Like it is why you sometimes see designs that don't look very Vietnamese-y. But, it'll be from Indochine. And it'll have the same design as something from Papeete or Tahiti, for example. And here we have a local in dress, a local house, palm trees, which do not exist in Canada. And then, boom, and all the fruits and the bounty they're showing in the middle of the snow, we have a pineapple right there. I should let you look at it, but I've been talking my mouth off. So let's move on to South Sudan. This is a 10 South Sudanese pound. It's green. And the pineapple that we see on this note appears right next to some cows, y'all. I've never seen a cow eat a pineapple, but, this one looks like it's willing to try anything. And this would be a good note with babies, because look at that little baby beast right there. It almost looks as delicious and precious as this delicious looking pineapple does right here. Now, I've heard that there's even some pink pineapples, so that's pretty interesting. This is a large banknote of Guerrero, and it's been punch hole canceled, and I think it says, I don't know what it says because it's in a different language. Amorizado. I don't know what that means, because I speak English. However, if you notice, it has serial numbers, but there are no signatures. So this gives away that this isn't an issued banknote. This is what they call a remainder, and it probably sat around in bank vaults for decades, if not half a century, before it was sold off piecemeal to the public. They do this with American notes, and they also did this with like Costa Rican notes. And it gives people a wonderful opportunity to have a fantastically designed banknote. This particular banknote is from the American Banknote Company, and the maiden in the middle of this 5 peso is holding a basket full of pineapples. Isn't that wonderful? I think it's great. Let's move over to South Africa, and here we have a bilingual 1 rand, and some of these rands will say 1 rand, een rand, and then another one that looks just like it will say een rand and 1 rand. And I have to tell you, it used to give me a headache when I was trying to attribute these when I first started collecting banknotes. But here on the front of the note, we have a man who may or may not be Van Riebeck. And a pretty simple front. But when we turn the banknote over, we have one of those rural scenes and a banknote scene where the design is enhanced by the absence of all the words that can sometimes clutter up a space. We have a huge vista here, clouds to mountains to sheep in the front, fruits and vegetables on trees and harvested. Over here we have melons and pumpkins, and it looks like we have corn. And over here, right by the one, that looks like a pineapple to me. So, may not be, but I think that's a pineapple here on this note, y'all. One of my fans is like, you really need to get a magnifying glass. And I'm like, I really do. But, I also want you to go get the note and then look for it for yourself, too. This banknote made me scream the first time I saw it, just because Mr. Sharp is not a winner of a beauty competition. But he is an old man in his 80s, and he was executed for the things he did to support his Jamaican countrymen against the British colonizers. So I have to forgive him for his appearance. Maybe in his youth he was a much more beautiful man, but he did have a heart for his people. And we shouldn't be shallow. And when I say we shouldn't be shallow, I shouldn't be shallow. Let's see what this note is all about, though, pineapple-wise. Ooh. When we turn this note over, I'm not seeing anything to do with pineapples, but I am seeing a beach, and I imagine at least 2 or 3 of those people on that beach are sucking down something out of a pineapple. Why on earth did I put this banknote here? Ah! And I am going to have to explode it a little bit because this banknote has pineapples where you wouldn't expect it. On the arms of the nation. Topped off by a crocodile and some locals. We have a shield with 5 pineapples on it. Pineapples, part of the arms of Jamaica. Who'd have thought? Oh, I'm glad it's letting me go back down because for a minute there I didn't think it was going to. Let's move on to Guinea. And here we have a Guinea banknote of 10,000 francs from 2012. And they have some nice holograms. And you can see for yourself the pineapple right over here. This is a pineapple. The top has not gotten nearly as big as you sometimes see, but I would assume that this pineapple is probably going to be sweeter because it looks like it's still on the plant down there. Cowrie shells to finish it off. And here's a rural field. And you know, it's just me, and I've never heard this from anybody else, but do you see this rock formation over here on this side? Does it look like the profile of a maiden to you? It may be. If you know anything about that, please let me know. I would like to be able to perpetuate that story on my YouTube channel. If you know anything about this profile, let me know. We're going to move over to Swaziland, which is an extinct nation. It no longer exists. It is now called Eswatini because Mr. King here was too concerned that people in the West would be confusing his nation with Switzerland. I'm not kidding. He really did feel like that. And let's see why we put this banknote, which is a 20 Emelangeni, in a pineapple category. Oh, well, maybe it's because there's some pineapples on it, y'all. Let's see what we got going on. We got corn. Ooh, we got more cows. We got a farm truck. We got forestry. We got fruit. And here we have a plant. The whole plant, it looks like, with the pineapple nestled in the middle and looking exactly like a pineapple is supposed to look. These don't grow on trees, y'all. They grow on low-growing shrubs. It's a lovely note with a purple cast. And we're going to continue this with an additional 20 Emelangeni of Swaziland. This is a more recent dated one. And this is one of the first world banknotes that use this kind of photo engraver or engraver process on the note, making it look like it's a photograph rather than a carving. And while computer design is the way of the present and the future when it comes to banknotes, I sometimes still miss to see the artistry of an engraved painting or of an engraved portrait. Nothing on this side to suggest why this is included in this category. But when we turn it over, another cow, some more corn, and there's your pineapple right back there. Along with some industrial equipment, perhaps some gas evaporation towers or refining towers. A lovely note. And it's always nice to be reminded that God is our source. God and the 30 women I'm married to. I mean, I'll just be respectful and shut my mouth at this point. Okay, this is a Sudan, not a South Sudan, but a Sudanese 20-pound note. And this note is from 2017, and it has everything on it. It has lovely holograms here. It has pyramids here. And it has an ancient style water wheel. And it has a modern, I would assume oil derrick. I used to see things like that as they were drilling out in the Panhandle next to our house. And on this side, satellite dishes, factories. And here, bananas, sunflowers, trees, different fruits. Looks like an orange there, some corn, probably coffee beans, and right here in the middle, a splendid pineapple. I feel like my videos lately have gotten a little long in the tooth for the number of banknotes I've had to show for them, but I am pleased to report that since I've been uploading videos like every 2 or 3 days, um, that I have about twice as many views a month. Instead of about 100 hours viewed, I actually have like 184 hours viewed. And I certainly hope you will continue to share, tell your friends about my videos, watch them all, maybe even set them on repeat and let them play all night. I don't, I'm not suggesting you do that. I don't know how ethical that is. But enjoy my videos and share them with others. And please contact me to cuss and discuss. My name is Benjamin. This is Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. You are welcome here. Have a jewel of a day.